Hello, welcome to Game Euphoria. My name is Jamie. Today we're going to be looking at an indie game. We're going to be looking at Space Pirates and Zombies, also known as S.P.A.Z. Now, S.P.A.Z is this sort of, top-down action RPG strategy style space game. But don't let that put you off. It might seem like there's an awful lot there to it, but it is and it's not. So what we'll do is we'll kick in straight into the sort of the premises of the game, and it's relatively straightforward. You play as a space pirate. I haven't actually worked out where zombies come into it yet, but that doesn't mean to say they're not in there. I've been playing it for probably the better part of 5, maybe 8 hours, and I'm definitely going to continue playing it. So I may even post up some more video footage of it at a later stage. But anyway, so the main point of it is basically to go scavenging across the world, these randomly generated worlds, galaxies. Looting and mining and scavenging are just basically trying to make your place in the universe and get yourself rich. You can do various missions for civilians and these other guys who I've forgotten the name of now. And basically create yourself a giant fleet. The gameplay can take place, like I said, in these randomly generated galaxies. I can't remember how many you can have up to. I think it's something like 350 or 300 or something like that. But basically, you can choose how big you want your galaxy to be, and each galaxy has two to 200. I think I'm on 255 as standard star systems in it. So each star system is a potential area to explore. So really, it can get a really big game really quickly if you want it to. So we're also checking out the Bounty Hunters expansion. This was a free expansion that S.P.A.Z chucked in there that basically allows you to add loads of new extra holes and loads of extra missions and things like that. So that basically improved the game even more. So even though the game was already big, or as big as you wanted it to be in the first place, they've now made it even bigger. Well, even bigger if you want it to be bigger. And it gives you the ability to create loads more ships for your fleet and things like that. And that's what really makes it sort of a nice thing for an indie game company to do. I mean, the game is $6.99 on Steam. And Steam quite regularly have sales on it, so you can pick it up at a bargain price, and it's definitely worth it. And then they go and give you the expansion free anyway. Now, there's not many companies that will go and give you an expansion free, let alone an indie company, who are out there to make as much money as possible, but knowing full well that the game's not as big as the rest of the games. But this really can show up some of the big name games out there. So the game, like I said, is just as big as you want it to be. We'll go on to the controls and the graphics and sound and everything now, and instantly straight up. I mean, you must be able to see how great the graphics are. They really are good graphics for an indie game. In my opinion, some of the best I've seen. The backgrounds are really well detailed. All the ships have got great little detail on them. All the explosions and everything. And that that sort of moves us on quite nicely to the sounds, because they're all really cleverly done. And it does sound brilliant. Everything is just precision timing. There's lots of little quirky things all over it, like when you're listening to parts of the story, or you do something new. It says, "I hope you're paying attention. There's going to be a test at the end of this." And I've never actually come across a test yet, but I'm really hoping there isn't one, because I haven't really been paying much attention. Because, like I sort of briefly mentioned, I like to figure things out myself. So yeah, definitely a 10 out of 10 for the graphics and sound. They go really well with the game, and all the little faces and things where you've got the comms and you can see people next to you and stuff. I don't know if they're actually sort of Photoshop faces of the people building it or whatever, but they've done so well to create them, and they've put in a lot of effort into the detail of the game, and that's what really makes it what it is. Really, it is all about the graphics of this game, and it works so well with the gameplay. So my biggest bugbearer with it, though, was the controls. It took me ages to fathom out. Well, not fathom out. It was pretty straightforward. It was just your standard WASD wander, sort of go forward and backwards. I think it's X or Z to stabilize your ship, and then your mouse is sort of like your aiming turret. But it took me ages to sort of get the hang of it, and I guess it's because I'm so used to playing first-person shooters and other games where it's very stagnant. It's one way. With this, you can there is no sudden stopping. You know, like when you're running along and then suddenly you let go of the W button and then you just stop. You will continue your motion, because obviously that's what will happen in space. The physics of the game just go so well, and when you get used to it, controlling it is a piece of cake. But I still have trouble with shooting, but I think that's just because I'm a rubbish shot anyway. Without sort of going on too much and explaining, all about the game and bits and pieces, is really what I want to sum up for you guys is it is obviously an exceptionally well built game. It's very solid throughout. I've not come across any major substantial, oh my god, that's a bug, glitch. So you can really tell that the people have built it with passion, and that's what makes the game for me. It's clearly been worked on very well. There are, I'm sure, better space games out there, but for the sake of it being, like I said, I think it's about $6.99 on Steam, it is definitely well worth it. If you have, some credit left on your Steam account, or a spare few pennies in the bank, it's definitely worth it. I certainly give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's a great title. I'd like to see how they progress it, and how far they can go with it, because I feel that, short of just constantly adding new ships, I don't know how much more they can do with it other than doing multiplayer or something like that. So as always, there'll be a link in the description for where you can find the game, and also to the community and the main website itself. Thank you very much to Space Pirates and Zombies and MinMax for supplying the game. Really is a top-notch game, well worth every penny on the price tag. It's good, solid, fun game, and like I said, hopefully it will progress over time and get better, and maybe chuck in some multiplayer support or something. So if you guys have got any comments about the game, if you've played it or anything like that, make sure you give us a shout out in the comments below. And till next time, guys, take care, take it easy, see you later.